Hey, good morning, guys. A short covering? Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. All the shorts, they in the secret Discord. They're like, today we're gonna cover. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And all the regular buyers, they're like, hey, we're not gonna buy today. Let's just let the shorts cover. Yeah, it's a great theory. Makes sense. Yeah, I wasn't notified either. But the good thing we have people in the room that are. Never tell me. They never tell me about these things. And I mean the secret Discord. They must hate me. I don't even know what the obvious names are. I feel like a boomer who's out of touch. Oh, the premium package? Oh, I'm on the free version. Yeah, I'm just leeching the free version. Well, now we are back to the old game. We started to get some fear, and then the market just straight up, and now we're just bouncing back into these declining moving averages. The good thing is we built higher lows in all the major indices, the SPYs, Nasdaq, all of that. But we're just running back into these declining moving averages, so not really making any progress. Gonna have to wait and until these ranges get sorted out. Okay, for a potential breakout to what? It looks like 100 other growth stocks out there. It looks like every single software stock out there. I don't see anything special here. Space EP. I don't know. Did it have great news? It looks like just the dead cat bounce, just like something like here. It's in the gutter. You rarely get EPs in when a stock is in a gutter. PLC. Well, yeah, this thing had an EP 3 sessions ago, or well, you know, at least it broke out 3 sessions ago. What are you looking at here? They had earnings. Okay, yeah. Well, it's a tricky because it broke out 3 days ago. That should have been the entry. That was a beautiful breakout too. On volume. Yeah, no, I wouldn't touch this. My opinion on BTX bounce. I don't see a bounce here. I just see steady liquidation. Like, this thing doesn't have to bounce. It can bounce, but you know, something like this, it doesn't necessarily have to bounce. But if it bounces, it can very easily bounce 50% in a day. So, you know, if you wanna play this type of a setup, I mean, it's pulled back to the rising 50, it's getting tight. Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, it can work. Not really. Yeah, I mean, it could work. Just don't anticipate a bounce. Just, you know, buy it when it actually starts breaking some of the ranges. Don't anticipate that thing. It doesn't have to bounce. $4 billion buyback on a 90 billion market cap. Well, that's less than 5%. Not really something to be excited over. Dun, 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 dun. Is it breaking? Is it? Why are you asking me? Don't you have pre-market data? Why are you asking me? VIAC? Yeah. It been surfing below the 200 day, and now it looks like it wants to range break here. Did it have any news? Yeah, I'm not really into these types of setups. You know, this is the type of setup I want. You know, something like this. Or this, you know, these are my type of setup. Something like this, you know. Or something like this. These are, you know, my setups. These are the setups where big moves happen. These, you know, can it go up 20%? Sure, but 25, I mean, but yeah, I don't know. All right, 25 seconds left. I don't see anything I'm excited about. Yeah, nothing. Roblox keeps, you know, showing. I mean, it looks great, but is it gonna? I don't know. Okay, good luck, everyone. All the semis look the same. Running into the declining moving averages. So far Russell is very weak, while Spice and the Nasdaq are strong. Yeah, this SC is strong. Yeah, BNTX is breaking out of this range. I would have preferred it to build a tight day today inside day, but it's not doing it, so I'm gonna pass on it. Yeah, but it's still range bound. It's still stuck in this like 8-month range. Tesla is still super weak. This thing can't bounce. Like, this is totally unable to bounce. Nasdaq has, you know, made a big bounce since yesterday's open, and Tesla is just still below the lows of the 2 days ago. Below the highs of 2 days ago, sorry. Or actually Nasdaq is too, never mind. But it's still gonna, it can't reclaim the 200 day. Very weak bounce. For now. I'm gonna trail it with a 10 day. If it reclaims the 10 day, I'm gonna cover it. Mm-hmm. A lot of these like Nasdaq names are having good days, but they're just not any good setups in them. Like something in Snapchat, it's been holding up great. It's still in an uptrend, but you know, it's still below all these moving averages. Probably needs, most of them probably need another week or two of work. Dude, have you followed the instructions on the screen, like literally? I have like 10 hours of content on good setups. This is just some random microcap stock. It looks like shit. This doesn't remotely look like any of the setups I look at. Everything looks like a flag if you look closely enough. But we're looking for very specific setups that give us an edge. We want edge, not randomness. Your wife is starting to look like a flag. I don't know if that's good or bad. It probably means you put in a lot of effort studying setups, but you may need a few days off if your wife is starting to look like a flag. Is she starting to look like a bull flag or a bear flag? That's the question. Higher lows or lower highs? Your girlfriend had an episodic pivot last night? What the fuck? You know the market is slow. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'll regret not buying it when it broke the 60-minute range late day yesterday. I hope I'm not gonna regret it. I don't want to see this thing at 250 next week. Fuck. Oh man, SC is super strong. But we'll see. The problem with the Nasdaq, all the indices right now, they're running into these, you know, moving averages. Maybe, you know, what happens when Nasdaq hits this 13.5-ish area, the 50-day, the declining 20-day, we could very easily, you know, sell off again and go back into the low 13,000s very easily. And then all of those stocks are showing strength today, they're gonna fall back. That's the problem. NetEase, did you notice? Yes, I did notice NetEase. It's great since the breakout, since the earnings breakout, or well, whatever you want to call it. It was more like a little bit of a pocket pivot setup, kind of. It's in a long-term uptrend, but it's not really the type of setup I'm necessarily looking for. But yeah, the earnings started to move. Built higher lows, had a range here, and so we're starting to see some positive signs, like something like NetEase breaking out of its range. You know, stuff like SC actually, you know, having big up days, trying to get out of its range. Yeah, there are some positive signs, but Tesla cannot fucking bounce. This thing is just, man, it can't get out of its own way. What's Square doing? Okay, Roku. Okay. Twilio. CrowdStrike. This one is strong too. Net. Yeah, it looked good. Would I consider it? Does this look remotely anything like any of my setups? Like, guys, if you can type in the chat, I expect you have spent at least 10-15 hours on the content that's on the link on the screen. Like, really, guys, like, I mean, what the fuck? Would I consider this? It looks like a random stock. It's been up like what? It's already like, why would you buy it here? Why would I consider it here? It's just a random stock having an up day. It doesn't look anything like the setups I trade or I'm trying to teach. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, you are your own worst enemy, guys. You need to get the randomness out of trading. You need to trade with an edge. And one way to get an edge is, you know, following the link on the instructions on the screen. Put in some effort. Invest in yourself. And then you don't have to trade random stocks. Then you can trade with an edge. Like, I have literally like 10 hours of swing trading school. Or maybe not 10, but, you know, there's a lot of hours of content out there on my blog. That thing didn't look remotely like any of the setups I trade. Boomer nap time. Yeah, maybe it is nap time. Because there's really... So now the spies are running into the declining 10. And in the sideways 20. And the 10 is below the 20. You know the general rules, right? Well, it's actually better to look at the 10 and 20 on the NASDAQ. No, the big money is made when a 10-day is above the 20-day and both are trending higher. Generally. And right now we have both the 10 and the 20 declining. It doesn't mean you can't make money if you're a day trader or a very short-term swing trader. There's always opportunities. Like yesterday, you know, you could have bought the opening range highs on so many of these indices and stocks, and you know, there's been a lot of follow-through on the long side since then. But you know, I'm looking for the big moves and the easy money. And right now it's not an easy money environment. Yeah, there were there were a bunch of micro small caps that had big moves post earnings. Some really good EPs. That's what I say. Micro and small cap land, there's always opportunity. No matter what the market does. Because those stocks don't really necessarily give a shit what the market does. You don't need a lot of money to move it. Like some fund, like, holy shit, this is a great business. You know, they turn on their buy algo that accumulates shares over the next 2 months, right? You know, it won't matter what the market does. Small cap, I would say between 500 million and 3 billion. something like that. Don't rocket science it. Path. Well, there was a breakout 2 days ago, and obviously sat follow through since. I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, sideways. It's going now. It's having followed through now. I don't know what you mean by if I want to see it go more sideways. It had a setup on 2 days ago. I passed on it. It was a little bit too illiquid. And I never like when there's very few setups out there. When there's only like one or two great looking setups, it's generally not a great environment. I'd rather wait for it. It doesn't mean they can't work, but yeah, I haven't had any good. It's too random. So I personally just stay out. It's also the same thing with BNTX. It's literally there were like literally only two good looking stocks, and was Roblox and BNTX, and BNTX kind of broke out of this range yesterday late day. And if it was January or February, I would have bought it late day when it broke this range. I would have bought. But now I just, whatever. Angry shorts? Which ones? Are you talking about specific stocks? Specific people? I haven't seen any angry shorts. Well, it's because I don't really follow a lot of people, but... yeah, actually, stuff like XUP. Yeah, it's good. The 20-day is now catching up. Ideally, these oil ETFs go sideways for a few more days, and obviously the stocks too, since they're very correlated. There could be a flag here next week, potentially. Could be something here. What are the other ones? OIH. This one is weaker. TYHT. Yeah, maybe. Very, very explosive stock, that's true. I don't know what's driving this thing, but absolutely, yeah. I think the 20-day needs to catch up. Retail is shorting Tesla. There's no retail people shorting Tesla. I mean, obviously, maybe some, but I mean, come on. People are shorting Tesla because they're pissed off. He started tweeting negatively about Bitcoin. I mean, come on, man. Like... Now, that's a dumb reason to short anything. And also the same people who blame Elon for the sell-off in Bitcoin. I don't know if they have noticed, but Elon's little pet Doge is down a lot too. CYCC. I honestly think, like, there's a lot of money made by not being a moron. I literally think that. What about CYCC? $800K crypto, yeah. That's what happens. Yeah, 800K morons getting liquidated. Do you know why they're morons? Not because they buying Bitcoin, but because they're buying Bitcoin on margin. Okay? They are buying an asset class that is known for having 50% sell-offs like every single year. And they blow out when the next 50% sell-off comes. That's moronic behavior. Literally what they're doing is shooting themselves in the head. And it's so stupid. And there's so many people, like I know people who are long Bitcoin on margin, and it's like, you know, look, it's your money. You can have 125% leverage from Binance. That is just insane, man. And this is what I always talk about, margin, leverage. You have to deserve the use of leverage, okay? But people, it's there, and so people use it, right? And leverage, when a lot of people are using leverage on something, that creates opportunity. Now, if you're a trader, or if you're a long-term Bitcoin holder, like really like a real hodler, not one of these using margin morons, but someone who actually, is aware that Bitcoin can very easily go down 50-80%, and sees those times, they see those sell-offs as an opportunity to buy, right? That creates opportunity to non-morons. I just wish I had the foresight to buy GBTC on the opening range highs. But I didn't, well, at least I did cover near the lows. But yeah, I just wish I had the foresight to buy it. That was a great undercut at the 200 and reclaim. Wait, some offshore brokers use 500 or offer 500%, or sorry, 500 times leverage? That's insane. What's the math there? The stock goes point, or the whatever you buy goes 0.2% against you, and you wiped out. Is my math correct? How does that even work out? Like, most people would instantly get liquidated with that type of leverage. How does that even work in reality? It's just insane. Yeah, exactly. Smart people bought crypto yesterday. Smart people use short-term volatility in their favor. Because short-term volatility always comes around. Yeah, 500 times leverage, 500 times profits. True. But that assumes you buy at the exact correct time, so the whatever you buy doesn't go down 0.2% after you bought it. You really need an extreme amount of precision. Yeah, like something, if you study history, something you like leverage kills. It really does. At excessive leverage kills. A little bit leverage, like, that's not a problem, especially if you have very specific, exit rules. But if you study like all the blow-ups in history, like they're all because they used excessive leverage. Pretty much. It's the same thing over and over again. Melvin Capital. I don't know how much leverage they use. Yeah, Bill Wang is a good example. Melvin Capital, they were, they had some shorts that went against them. I don't even know if they necessarily used a lot of leverage. It's just like one position went against them a lot. Or maybe more, I don't know. But, GME. So I don't think... Yeah, LTCM. And also the problem with LTCM was they were too big for the markets. They were too big of a fish in a too small of a pond. So everyone started trading against them and, making things worse. Because, everyone knew how they were positioned. So it was just like a waterfall effect. This is why I'm always so careful about the liquidity. I don't want to be more than 1 or 2% of the daily volume in any stock any given day. Now Tesla is starting to move. But again, it's just running into the declining 10 day. And it's still below the 200 day. Very weak bounce. Compared to some of the strong stocks, like something like SC, like this is strong. This is like Mark Minervini says, tennis ball action. You try to push it below water and it just pops back up. This is what you want to see. This is what relative strength looks like. And it's actually also above all the moving averages. But is it a good setup? I don't know. Futu. If this thing has tennis ball action, it's holding up really like better than most growth stocks. But it's still kind of in no man's land. It needs probably another couple of weeks to actually resolve it and get above the 50-day, etc., etc. But I would say it's holding up fairly well. It's one of the it's not ready yet, but what's Tiger doing? Yeah, Tiger is not as strong. MOXC multi-day para. This is this. Are you the same guy who asked me about it like 2 days ago? Where do you see the multi-day para? Like literally, please, like come on. I have a whole blog post about the parabolic setups. Like where's the parabolic? This thing has been going sideways for 3 days. Do you want to lose all your money? Don't answer here. Just, think about it yourself. Do you want to trade with an edge? Do you want to blow up? This is a reason I don't, want anyone to trade the parabolic setup. Yeah, tough love. Yeah, it's, you know, there's too much stupidity in the chat today. I don't like stupidity. Like, I have outlined specific criteria for my setups, and then someone goes, "Oh, is this a good setup? Oh, look at this one," and then they, you know, throw some random shitty stock at me, and I'm like, dude, just don't. Like, I have a whole blog post. I have, you know, I have a whole video about parabolic setups. It's like the guy hasn't even followed the instructions on the screen. Like, it's very simple. If you're not willing to invest time and effort in yourself, I sure as hell am not gonna do it. And you can clearly see the people who have been here, you know, who have been whatever, not followers or whatever, to my channel for more than 90 days. They can type in the chat, but they have put in no effort to, you know, following the instructions on the screen. You know, it's very obvious. I'm just gonna disregard you. Like, it's a waste of everyone's time. Hey David, have you followed the instructions on the screen? Yeah, he's on vacation again. Well, honestly, David doesn't have time to read the instructions on the screen because he's on vacation all the time. What I think about the UFOs? Well, it means unidentified flying object, right? It could be anything. Like, a UFO, it could be a piece of dog shit on the asphalt that has dried in the sun, and then a strong wind catches it, and it flies up in the air. That's a UFO. Unless you know it's a piece of dry dog shit that was caught in a strong wind. You're like, what is that? Is that a mini alien spaceship? Well, why is that so many people think as soon as they see something in the air they can't identify it's an alien spaceship? So all these, like, I'm not really I haven't really read about that. I just had headlines, but apparently there are, like, you know, pilots in the US military that have, you know, reported about these things. But aren't there, like, cameras on those planes nowadays? Why are these things not on a camera? There's cameras everywhere right now. You can buy a camera for $50, right? Like, anything and everything has a camera on it nowadays. And yet no one has, you know, you never see those things on camera. Kind of interesting. They have the footage. Have they shown the footage? Can someone link the video release? I want to see that. I want to see what a UFO looks like. Too much talk and too few video, too little video of the UFOs. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think. That's my first reaction. I just skimmed through the 60 minutes clip on YouTube. It's actually pretty good. Like, can someone explain this? Like, why are they always so super blurry? Wait. Go to 514 in my video. Well, where is your video? Can you link? Can you send the video again? The link. I can't find your video. If I would add one more setup, I would probably remove one setup, to be honest. I have no desire to add another setup. A market like this, probably, maybe, I don't know, a slow market like this. Oh, well, I actually do know. I'm gonna tell you exactly when a market was this slow. I would say maybe like between August and October. You know, August, September, October 2019, something like that. Fall of 2019. It was very similar. It was range bound. It was all over the place, right? And then in about mid-late October, you know, the indices, well, in this case, the Nasdaq broke out of this range and just went on a big move. And, you know, there was a lot of money to be made there. And then we had the COVID crash, and then we had, you know, straight up action again. Then was a slow period when things were a short period last year when things were slow, but they only lasted like a month or so, and then things picked up again in like November, and then was like another, you know, period where it's like enormous money to be made. You just gotta wait these things out. Don't get, you know, caught up in these, you know, swings. Like one day the market is down and a lot of stocks are down. You're like, oh my god, we're gonna crash. And the next day everything is up, and you're like, oh my god, it's the start of a new bull run. You know, there's a reason I'm very light. It's hard to get any conviction in, you know, and we could be down again. Like today, you know, obviously like the indices are up a lot, and you know, tomorrow we could be down again. So gotta wait until the range actually gets resolved to either way. One of the pilots says he encountered UFOs watching him and his colleagues every day. I don't know about you, but if I was flying a plane and I saw a UFO watching me every single day, I would mount cameras on every fucking angle. Does that make sense or does it not make sense? Or am I the crazy one here? I'm the crazy one, yeah. I would put like 5 GoPros on my helmet. I would just duct tape to my helmet. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can just go back, look at the Dow Jones, because it's very easy. You know, you have data back to 1915 in TC2000, and you can see. I mean, like the 70s, like I would say yes. Like if you look at 65 to 85, that was a brutal time, man. Not very trending markets. And then you look at 85 to 2000, I mean, just, you know, free money most of the time. And since 2009 lows, we've also been, you know, kind of straight up. So you gotta be aware of the, you know, market conditions, especially if you're, you know, trying to have a longer term approach. But if you're a very short term swing trader or a day trader, obviously it's not as important. And obviously, you know, during this time frame, like this is obviously like just 30 stocks. Obviously, there were like, if you know, there's a book, I don't remember what the name of the book is, but it goes through a lot of charts. There were a lot of, you know, stocks that made big moves during this time. This is just an index of 30 stocks, but there were, you know, a lot of stocks that had great businesses, a lot of things going on that make 1,000% the moves during this time. Yeah, commodities. Yeah, if you look, if you read the Market Wizards books, there were a lot of, or not a lot of, but there were several people in the earlier Market Wizards books that made, you know, they turned like 10,000 into like hundreds of millions trading commodities, because those were trending during the 70s. Inflation was high, and you know, commodities did really well. I don't know if they did well because of the inflation, but I know that, you know, they did really well. A lot of money to be made. You know, there's always something going on. Even if the stock market is slow, there's always some asset class doing well. Honestly, I never traded futures. I don't know how to trade them, but it is something I'm starting to look into. Definitely, definitely. Right now, I feel like there's still like there's a lot of opportunities just trading ETFs and stocks. But as my accounts grow, I will be starting to look more and more into futures, for example. Definitely, definitely. Alright guys, I'm gonna cut the stream now, since there's nothing going on anyways. You can lose your whole account in 1 hour if you use excessive leverage. And honestly, if you trade in a way where you can lose your whole account in 1 hour, honestly, it's kind of better it happens sooner rather than later. Alright guys, thanks for joining, and I will see you wait, what day is it tomorrow? Is it Friday? Yeah, it's Friday. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Good luck. Yeah, and guys, if you're gonna trade on excessive leverage, hey, send the money to me, man. I need to get to the 100 million mark. You guys may as well support me. Alright guys, take care.